everyone. Today, I want to talk about something that can transform your life from the inside out, your mindset. You see, the difference between someone who gives up and someone who grows stronger with every setback is not talent or luck, it's mindset. Embracing challenges is one of the most powerful ways to build a strong and resilient mindset. When most people face a challenge, their instinct is to avoid it, retreat, or complain. But those who develop mental strength do the opposite. They lean in. They understand that challenges aren't roadblocks, they're stepping stones. Every obstacle you encounter carries with it a lesson, a chance to grow, and an opportunity to rise above who you were yesterday. A strong mindset isn't built in comfort, it's forged in difficulty. Think about the strongest people you know, mentally, emotionally, or professionally. None of them became that way without facing adversity. What sets them apart is not that they had fewer problems, but that they chose to face them. They showed up when it was hard, they kept going when it got uncomfortable, and they refused to let setbacks define them. Embracing challenges doesn't mean pretending everything is easy. It means accepting that growth hurts and still choosing it. It's about stepping into discomfort with the belief that what's on the other side is worth it. The more you do this, the more your confidence grows. You start to realize that you can handle more than you thought. You start trusting yourself. And that's the root of a strong mindset, knowing that no matter what happens, you've got what it takes to face it. So the next time life throws something difficult your way, don't shrink. Don't wish it away. Step forward. Face it. Learn from it. Let it make you stronger, wiser, and more unshakable than before. Every challenge you embrace adds another layer to the foundation of your mindset, and eventually that mindset becomes your greatest weapon. Self-discipline is the quiet force behind every strong mindset. It's not glamorous and it often goes unnoticed, but it's what separates those who talk about goals from those who actually reach them. It's the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. And that's what makes it powerful. It doesn't rely on motivation. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline stays. It becomes your anchor. When you practice self-discipline, you take control of your actions instead of letting your emotions control you. You make decisions based on what will benefit you in the long run, not just what feels good in the moment. That's not easy. In fact, it's incredibly hard. It means saying no to distractions, resisting temptations, and making sacrifices when others might take the easy way out. But the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. Self-discipline, like any other skill, strengthens with practice. There will be days when you're tired, unmotivated, or full of doubt. That's when self-discipline matters most. It's the voice in your head that says, show up anyway. It's waking up early when you want to sleep in, choosing a healthy meal when junk food is calling your name, studying when others are out having fun, or staying focused on your dream when no one else understands it. These small decisions, repeated daily, build massive momentum over time. And here's the thing. Self-discipline builds confidence. Every time you follow through on a commitment to yourself, you prove to your mind that you can be trusted. That builds inner strength. It creates a belief that you can rely on yourself no matter what. And that belief is the foundation of a strong mindset. It means that even when life gets unpredictable, you remain consistent. Even when things get hard, you don't back down. Self-discipline isn't about being rigid or robotic, it's about being committed. It's about honoring your goals and values enough to take action even when it's uncomfortable. And when you live with that kind of discipline, you begin to move with power and purpose. You stop waiting for the right mood or the perfect moment. You create your own momentum. That's how mindsets are built, through steady, deliberate effort that transforms your habits, your results, and ultimately your life. One of the most important shifts you can make in developing a strong mindset is letting go of perfection and focusing instead on growth. Perfection is a trap. It creates unrealistic standards, fuels self-doubt, and often leads to procrastination or fear of even starting. It convinces you that if you can't do something flawlessly, it's not worth doing at all. But a strong mindset doesn't work that way. It understands that real progress comes through trying, failing, learning, and trying again, not through being perfect from the start. Growth means accepting that you are a work in progress. It means understanding that mistakes aren't signs of weakness, they're signs of effort. Every person who has achieved something meaningful has failed many times along the way. What separates them is not that they avoided mistakes, but that they used every setback as a stepping stone. They learned, they adapted, and they kept moving forward. That's what growth is all about. Constant evolution, not flawless execution. When you focus on growth, you give yourself permission to start small, to stumble, to ask questions, and to learn at your own pace. You stop comparing yourself to others and start competing with the person you were yesterday. That mindset creates freedom. It gives you the mental space to take risks, explore your potential, and develop confidence through experience, not through unrealistic expectations. Perfectionism can also be deeply draining. It's not just about trying to get everything right, it's about fearing judgment, fearing failure, and often fearing your own imperfection. That fear keeps you stuck. Growth, on the other hand, is energizing. It allows you to see every situation, even the tough ones, as an opportunity to get better. It turns obstacles into teachers and criticism into fuel for improvement. Focusing on growth builds resilience. When you're no longer afraid of getting it wrong, you become more willing to show up, to take on challenges, and to learn from anything life throws your way. You stop seeing yourself as someone who needs to be perfect and start seeing yourself as someone who is capable of learning and improving no matter what. That shift from perfection to progress is a cornerstone of a strong mindset, because strength isn't about never falling, it's about rising every time you do. And the only way to rise is to keep growing, keep pushing, keep learning, and never let the illusion of perfection hold you back from becoming the person you're meant to be. The people, environments, and energy you allow into your life have a direct and lasting impact on your mindset. Whether you realize it or not, your surroundings shape the way you think, feel, and act. If you want to build a strong, unshakable mindset, one of the most important things you can do is protect your mental space by surrounding yourself with positivity. This doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It means intentionally choosing people, thoughts, and environments that support your growth instead of draining your energy. You can't expect to think positively, stay motivated, or remain focused on your goals if you're constantly surrounded by negativity. That includes toxic relationships, gossip, complaining, criticism, and environments that lack encouragement or inspiration. These things slowly chip away at your mindset. They feed self-doubt, insecurity, and fear. And over time, they can make you question your worth or your ability to succeed. That's why protecting your peace isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. When you choose to surround yourself with positive influences, everything begins to shift. Being around people who uplift you, challenge you, and believe in your potential reinforces your own belief in yourself. Their energy becomes contagious. Their optimism fuels your resilience. You start to think bigger, aim higher, and push yourself further because you're no longer weighed down by doubt or judgment. You feel supported, and that support gives you strength. Positivity doesn't mean blind optimism. It means surrounding yourself with people who see the possibilities even in the struggles, people who help you find solutions rather than dwell on problems. It means reading books that inspire you, listening to music or podcasts that lift your spirit, and being in spaces that reflect the kind of energy you want to live in. It's about being intentional with what you consume mentally and emotionally. Sometimes choosing positivity means walking away from people, habits, or environments that no longer serve you. That's not selfish, it's self-respect. You can't grow if you're constantly battling negativity. You need space to breathe, to dream, and to evolve. That space is created when you fill your life with people and experiences that align with who you want to become. Building a strong mindset is not just about inner work, it's also about outer alignment. The more you surround yourself with positivity, the easier it becomes to think clearly, feel grounded, and stay committed to your path. Because when your environment supports your growth, your mindset becomes your greatest ally, not your greatest obstacle. A strong mindset is not just built on discipline and resilience. It's also fueled by vision and purpose. When you have a clear picture of who you want to become and what you want to achieve, your actions start to carry meaning. You're no longer just going through the motions or reacting to life as it happens. Instead, you're moving with intention. You're making choices that align with your goals, your values, and your long-term vision. That sense of purpose gives you direction. It turns every effort, no matter how small, into a step forward on a path that matters. Visualization is a powerful tool for creating that sense of clarity. When you take time to imagine the best version of yourself, confident, focused, fulfilled, your brain starts to treat that image as a possible reality. The more vividly you picture it, the more real it becomes in your mind. You begin to feel it, and when you feel it, you start acting in ways that bring it to life. That's how internal beliefs start shaping external behavior. Visualization isn't wishful thinking. It's mental rehearsal. It trains your mind to recognize opportunities, to stay focused under pressure, and to keep going even when the road gets tough. But visualization alone isn't enough. It has to be followed by purposeful action. A strong mindset is not built on dreams. It's built on the willingness to turn those dreams into daily habits. That means showing up consistently, even when progress feels slow. It means doing the hard work, making the tough calls, and staying connected to your why when motivation fades. Purpose keeps you grounded in what matters, and that grounding gives you strength when circumstances try to shake you. Living with purpose also means being honest about what you truly want. It's easy to get caught in the trap of living by someone else's definition of success, chasing goals that look good on paper but don't fulfill you. A strong mindset requires clarity about your own path. What excites you? What challenges you? What feels meaningful to you, even when no one's watching? When you act with that kind of clarity, you stop wasting energy on things that don't matter, and you start investing it into things that do. Having a purpose doesn't mean you have everything figured out. It simply means you're anchored, that you know why you're moving forward, even when the journey gets hard. That why becomes your inner compass. It gives you the courage to stay the course and the focus to block out distractions. And when your vision is clear and your actions are aligned with that vision, your mindset becomes unstoppable, because you're no longer waiting for life to give you meaning. You're creating it, one purposeful step at a time. One of the most overlooked yet critical components of a strong mindset is emotional management. The ability to navigate your emotions rather than be controlled by them is what gives you true power. Life will challenge you in unexpected ways. Things will go wrong. People will disappoint you. Plans will fall apart. In those moments, it's not just your logic or your skills that will carry you through. It's your ability to stay centered, to process your emotions without being overwhelmed by them, and to respond rather than react. Emotions are not the enemy. They are information. They tell you what matters to you, what hurts, what inspires, what excites. But when emotions are left unchecked, they can cloud your thinking, distort your perspective, and lead you to decisions you later regret. A strong mindset doesn't mean shutting down your feelings. It means understanding them, managing them, and knowing when to step back and breathe before you speak or act. Emotional management starts with awareness. You can't control what you refuse to acknowledge. Pay attention to your emotional triggers. Notice how certain situations or people affect your state of mind. Are you easily irritated? Do you feel anxious and uncertainty? Do you shut down when criticized? By recognizing these patterns, you give yourself a chance to shift your response. You move from being reactive to being intentional. The next step is regulation. Learning how to calm yourself when emotions run high. That might mean taking a walk, journaling, meditating, or simply giving yourself a moment to pause. These techniques aren't about suppressing emotions, but about creating space between the emotion and your reaction. In that space lies your power, the power to choose how you show up, even in chaos. When you can manage your emotions, you become harder to shake. You don't crumble under pressure. You don't let anger destroy your relationships or let fear keep you from trying. Instead, you move through life with clarity and control. You become the kind of person who brings calm to storms rather than getting swept up in them. That presence, that emotional stability, is a major part of mental strength. Mastering your emotions also builds empathy and resilience. You begin to understand not just yourself but others more deeply. You become less judgmental, more compassionate, and more grounded. You stop taking things personally. You learn to listen without defensiveness. And when things fall apart, you don't spiral. You adapt. At the heart of every strong mindset is emotional intelligence. It's what helps you stay focused when you're frustrated, stay kind when you're hurt, and stay disciplined when you're discouraged. Emotional mastery is not about being unaffected, it's about being unshaken. And when you can hold your ground in the face of emotional storms, you're not just surviving, you're leading yourself forward with wisdom, strength, and clarity. Taking full responsibility for your life is one of the most empowering yet challenging decisions you can make on the journey to building a strong mindset. It means accepting that while you may not control everything that happens to you, you are always responsible for how you respond, how you move forward, and what you choose to create from your experiences. This mindset removes blame from the equation. It stops you from waiting on others to fix things or circumstances to magically change. Instead, it places the power back in your hands where it belongs. It's easy to fall into the trap of pointing fingers. We blame the past, the people who hurt us, the unfair systems, the lack of resources, or just plain bad luck. And while those things may be real and impactful, staying in that place of blame robs you of the chance to change your story. Responsibility isn't about ignoring the pain or pretending everything's your fault. It's about saying, no matter what has happened, I get to decide what I do next. That decision is where your strength begins. When you take full responsibility, your life stops being something that's happening to you and starts becoming something you're actively shaping. You stop waiting to be rescued or discovered or validated. You start becoming your own source of direction and accountability. That shift changes how you carry yourself. You move from victimhood to leadership, not over others, but over yourself. And self-leadership is the foundation of every powerful, focused, and resilient mindset. Owning your life means taking a hard look at your habits, your reactions, and your choices, even the ones that are uncomfortable to face. It means asking yourself, how am I contributing to this situation, or what can I do differently? That kind of reflection is difficult, but it's also deeply liberating. Because once you realize that you're not stuck, that you're not helpless, that you have the ability to change things, no matter how slowly, you become unstoppable. This mindset also means not relying on excuses to protect your ego. It means admitting when you've messed up, learning from it, and doing better next time. It's not about perfection, it's about ownership. You own your wins, but you also own your setbacks. And through that ownership, you gain control. You build character, you create a life that is built on action, not avoidance. When you practice this kind of radical responsibility, you naturally become more disciplined, more resilient, and more empowered. You understand that your mindset is a reflection of your choices, not your circumstances. And with every choice you make, to learn, to grow, to keep going, you reinforce the belief that you are capable of shaping your future, no matter what your past looked like. Consistency is the quiet engine behind every strong mindset. It's easy to start something when you're feeling inspired, motivated, or excited, but the real test of mental strength comes in the days that follow, when the spark fades, when progress feels slow, and when no one is clapping for you. That's when consistency becomes a choice. And those choices, repeated day after day, are what separate people who grow from those who give up. A strong mindset understands that the goal isn't just to do great things when it's convenient, it's to keep showing up even when it's difficult, dull, or discouraging. There will be times when your efforts feel invisible, when you're not seeing results as fast as you hoped, and when you're tempted to give up. That's when most people stop. But those with a strong mindset keep going. They trust the process. They understand that consistency doesn't mean perfection, it means commitment. It means sticking with your habits, your goals, and your standards, even when life gets chaotic or your emotions try to talk you out of it. Consistency builds self-trust. When you repeatedly follow through on your intentions, no matter how small the action, you begin to believe in yourself. You start to feel capable, not because someone told you you are, but because you've proven it to yourself. That self-trust becomes the foundation of confidence, and that confidence strengthens your mindset in ways that no motivational speech or burst of inspiration ever could. The hardest part of consistency is often boredom, doing the same small things over and over without immediate payoff. But this is where true growth happens. The strongest people understand that success is built on ordinary actions done with extraordinary discipline. They don't look for quick fixes or shortcuts. They understand that showing up today and again tomorrow and again next week is how momentum is built. It's how progress stacks, slowly but powerfully, over time. Consistency is also what carries you through moments of self-doubt. There will be days when you question your path, when fear creeps in, and when the voice in your head tells you you're not good enough. But if you've developed the habit of showing up, you'll keep moving anyway. That's the beauty of consistency, it becomes your safety net. It keeps you anchored to your goals even when your emotions try to pull you away from them. A strong mindset isn't forged through intensity, it's built through consistency. The people who go the furthest aren't always the most talented or the most confident. They're the ones who keep going, who keep doing the work, who keep believing in their vision even when no one's watching. That's what it means to be strong, not just to start something big, but to stay with it, step by step, especially when it gets tough. One of the most liberating shifts in developing a strong mindset is learning to detach from the need for external validation. So many people unknowingly shape their lives around the approval of others, constantly seeking praise, likes, recognition, or acceptance. They measure their worth through the eyes of the world, and while validation feels good in the moment, it's fleeting. It creates a mindset that is dependent, fragile, and easily shaken. When your confidence is built on the opinions of others, it can collapse the moment those opinions shift. A strong mindset comes from knowing who you are, not from needing everyone else to agree with it. It means being deeply rooted in your values, your goals, and your truth, regardless of who understands or supports you. When you detach from the constant craving for approval, you begin to live with more authenticity. You stop performing, pretending, or proving yourself. Instead, you focus on becoming yourself, fully and unapologetically. This detachment doesn't mean you stop caring altogether. It means you stop basing your identity on outside applause. It means you stop editing your dreams, your personality, or your path just to fit into someone else's expectations. That's where true power lies, in being able to stand firm in who you are, even if it makes others uncomfortable. It's in being okay with being misunderstood, overlooked, or doubted, because you know your worth doesn't come from being liked, it comes from being real. Letting go of external validation also sharpens your focus. You begin to care less about image and more about impact. You stop wasting energy on appearances and start pouring it into your craft, your growth, and your purpose. This clarity frees you from comparison, from insecurity, and from the emotional roller coaster that comes with trying to please everyone. You stop chasing approval, and you start chasing mastery. Detaching from external validation also deepens your resilience. Not everyone will support you. Not everyone will see your vision. Some will criticize, doubt, or judge you, sometimes loudly. But when your sense of self isn't tied to their approval, their words lose power over you. You can hear feedback without being shaken. You can stand alone without feeling lost. You become unshakable, not because the world claps for you, but because you've learned to clap for yourself. True peace, the kind that sustains a strong mindset, comes from internal validation. From knowing you're on the right path, from trusting your instincts, from keeping promises to yourself. That inner approval becomes your compass, your confidence, and your protection. And once you build that kind of inner validation, no amount of noise, rejection, or silence from the outside world can take it away. Change is inevitable. No matter how carefully you plan, how hard you work, or how much you try to control your environment, life will throw you curveballs. Circumstances shift, opportunities disappear, people change, and unexpected challenges arise. A strong mindset isn't about resisting these changes or pretending they don't affect you. It's about adapting to them quickly and fearlessly, embracing the unknown with confidence instead of fear. The ability to pivot, to adjust, and to find new paths when old ones close is one of the greatest strengths you can develop. Many people fear change because it threatens their comfort zones. Familiar routines, predictable outcomes, and a sense of control provide a feeling of safety. But true growth never happens inside the walls of comfort. Growth demands that you step into uncertainty, that you face the unfamiliar, and that you learn to trust yourself even when the ground beneath you feels shaky. A strong mindset understands that change isn't something to fear, it's something to work with, something to learn from, something that can unlock new opportunities you never imagined. Adapting quickly doesn't mean you don't feel the fear or the discomfort. It means you move forward anyway. It means you see the fear for what it is, a natural reaction, but you don't let it paralyze you. You choose to act, to adjust, and to evolve, even when part of you wants to cling to what's familiar. This flexibility is what keeps you resilient. Rigid trees snap in strong winds, flexible ones bend and survive. The same is true for your mind. If you're too attached to how things should be, you'll break when they inevitably change. But if you stay open, if you stay flexible, you'll find ways to thrive, no matter what happens. Quick adaptation also requires creativity and problem solving. When faced with new circumstances, you learn to ask, what's the opportunity here? How can I turn this to my advantage? What new skills, ideas, or approaches are needed now? Instead of seeing change as a dead end, you see it as a detour. Not the path you expected, but one that can still lead you forward. That shift in perspective transforms obstacles into possibilities and setbacks into setups for comebacks. Fearlessly embracing change also builds courage. Every time you adapt, every time you face uncertainty and find your footing, you prove to yourself that you are capable of handling more than you thought. That proof becomes your fuel for the next challenge. You stop fearing what's around the corner because you know, whatever it is, you'll figure it out. You've built that trust in yourself through action, not just words. The world will keep changing. Technologies, industries, relationships, and dreams will evolve. Holding tightly to how things used to be will only weigh you down. A strong mindset flows with change, learns from it, and uses it as a catalyst for continuous growth. Because when you can adapt quickly and fearlessly, you're not just surviving change, you're mastering it. And that mastery makes you unstoppable.